Hello, this is a lithium-ion do-it-yourself, make-your-own Powerwall kit. You could use this for many things, and I'm going to try and use it to live off-grid basically. You can use them instead of your lead-acid batteries. These are also really good in electric bikes and other powerful machines. So what I'm going to do is use this kit that I found, and it was discovering this kit made by Vruzend that made me more confident to try this approach. So if you look online at these kind of do-it-yourself Powerwalls, what you'll see is just about everyone is welding or soldering these batteries, which is not something I really want to start doing. So this kit works with no soldering at all. It's called nuts and bolts, and I'm going to attempt to make a 700 watts battery made from these good brand new Tesla car batteries. These are the same ones that they use in a Tesla car battery pack. So they are reliable, safe, long life. They can handle amazing discharge, or using big power tools and that kind of thing. So each one of these is about 3.6 volts and 3.5 amps, which is quite a good amount. And what I'm going to do to start this process is to put these batteries into the holes and explain what I'm doing as I'm going along very carefully, and then show you the right way to use this particular kit. And the right way, I think, is carefully measuring and compressing with a caliper, which I've got here, and this is set to the right height. And if you do it this way, I think you get good connections and things are safe. And if there's one thing that I'm going to be focusing on, it's safety. These are powerful batteries, and when they go wrong, it's very easy while you're building these to short circuit them. And that's one reason I'm working on a wood base that's been cleared of any objects, particularly metal objects. In fact, there's no metal objects on this table that could accidentally drop. If these touch metal and short, we could have a problem. The caps are color coded, so orange will be plus and black will be minus. And these batteries, they're not marked, but they are visible as plus by this blue ring, so I guess they are marked a little bit. And they've got this sort of off-gassing section, and the back is just flat, completely flat. So I'm going to start. The first thing to do before I put them in is to check the voltage. They should all be good, because these are new batteries. I don't recommend people doing this with reclaimed batteries. If you do that, you better be a battery expert, and I'm not. So let's run through these. Hopefully they should all be the same. We want them all to be high and the same. So 3.5, basically 3.496. So we have to run through each and every one. 493, it's a good start. I haven't done this yet, so wow, these do look good in the sense that they're all equally charged, and that's really important. If they're not equally charged, when you put them all together and start charging the pack, you can run into problems, especially if you don't have what's called a BMS, which you should have. And a BMS will help you with that by trying to even out the battery voltage, but you better start with them all the same. So far, very happy. It was the most expensive part of this kit is the batteries, and you can save a lot of money. And there may be times when that's a little safer than others, particularly if you're getting batteries from something that was, let's say, not used. It was a sort of new product that was on a huge sale. I've seen people get those, and they are commercial products that weren't damaged, packs that were partially damaged or quite old and heavily used. We better be careful. I think these are more powerful than dynamite in terms of their weight to explosive potential. It's amazing what we do run around in cars with them really, but it seems to be okay. There aren't many fires. Right, that one's slightly low, but I mean, I don't even think that's even significant really. So very happy, and let me just finally double check that one. Yeah, it's really fine. So these are all for the first row, so I'm going to switch that off. I'm happy with the voltage, and so these have all been put together, and I'm going to start on this negative row, which means that the flat end, and that's on this battery what the other end, but every battery can be different. These are Sanyo's, the exact name, specification I forget right now. So whilst doing important work, I will remain a little quiet so I focus and not mess up. So that's the negative side, and you need quite a bit of pressure to get them in. We don't want to put them too much, just so they feel snug. And then we will alter that compression at the end with a clamp and some wood and get it accurate. And one more, being sure to check every single, it only takes one bad cell to mess the whole thing up, huh? So you really need to make sure you check them all. And if there's just one bad, I would probably just send it back or get rid of it. You can try and repair them with chargers, but I don't know, I don't think it's a good idea for one battery if it can cause that much problems. So that's our first row in there, and I will double check at least, and if not triple check, everything I'm doing, because just why not? So this is the minus is down in there, the pluses are all showing, so it's looking good. Now push them down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm ready for the next row. I'm not going to forget to check all my batteries again, am I? No, you will never do that. Never. So this battery pack, which has got about 51 batteries in it, is equivalent to a very big lead acid battery. And not only that, but with lead acid, whatever size you've got, you can only really use about 60%, and even that's stretching it, because they do not like to get discharged, and the lifetime of a lead acid battery can be cut massively short just by even accidentally discharging it too often. It's a real problem. They're very easy to mess up. They tend not to last more than 5 to 10 years unless you buy extremely expensive batteries, and when you do that, you have this pressure of making sure they've got enough distilled water in them and they're looked after, and if someone dares to drain them too much, you get really pissed off, and that's the kind of tension that I don't want in my off-grid life. If someone wants to use power, I don't want to have to be micromanaging it and worrying if there was enough sun and all that kind of jazz. So these guys can get discharged quite a lot, but the special thing about this pack I've made, there's different ways to do this, but because the voltage of these is a little different to lead acid batteries, when they are completely drained, their voltage goes down to about 9 volts when it's all together. Individually they're 3.7 and about 2.5 to 3. 3 would be a good minimum. If it's 3, it means 9 volts. When it's combined as a 12 volt system, which you would never go near on lead acid, and so these will be set to a minimum of 10.5, which is normal, and that means we're never going to drain them to their extreme, and we're never going to really charge them to their full extreme. We'll conserve that bit, which should give them, I hope, let's see, I'm hoping 10 plus years. You could get 15 if you really do it well. I don't know, that could be a vast exaggeration, but I think they tend to drop. The first 20% of what you can use may go with 5 years or 10, who knows, it depends how much you use them. But that 80%, you will still have it for many years to come. So, you know, when I say 15 years, it may well mean, of course, you don't get them at maximum performance for 15 years, but you would get drastically better performance than a lead acid after 15 years, and I've had many after 3 or 4, and they're almost unusable. They don't hold voltage, and especially under load, if you put any kind of high power machine or even medium power machine on an old lead acid battery, the voltage will come down quite a lot, and these are much better at that. So here we go, we're going to go plus, plus, in you go. Let's do this. Battery, which would be a couple of kilowatts, which would be amazing amount of power, no maintenance. Okay, right, so let's feel the weight of this guy. We have to be careful lifting it, it's not been secured yet, but I'll just let you have a look. And set that down. Okay, so I'm going to make some space, and now we're going to put the top on. There is an orientation issue, it doesn't look any different really, but there is a subtle difference. If you ever make a kit with this, it will be explained in the documentation that they don't give you, but you can find if you Google it enough. But it's to do with the little plasticky thing on the side, so it goes this way. And I'm going to double and triple check all of this stuff. So we've got plus, minus, and plus, which is, I mean, it's almost impossible this would be wrong, but you never know in life. So plus, minus, plus, double, triple, quadruple check. These are all, I mean, I know they are, but you know, it's time well spent, guys, I reckon. Right, so now here we go. We are going to start to get this on. It's probably a bit fiddly, but once you get started, it's not too bad. There you go. Okay, so I'm not going to be using any hammers or bashing, definitely not. Some people do that. What I've got ready here now is my block of wood, which should be ideally perfectly flat, and this one is not, but it's pretty darn close. Now, what I'm going to do, I've got my calipers have been measured. I've measured the width of this wood and this table. I would have used 2 of these, but my caliper is not big enough for that. So I've measured the thickness of these 2, and these should be 90 to 92 millimeters, this pack in thickness. So I've added all that together, and I've got what is my 147-ish millimeters. And so obviously it doesn't fit yet. So now I'm gonna get the clamps going. Fortunately they do fit, which is nice, and I'm gonna go real gentle with all this. Work slowly and carefully. Okay. So I'm going to just clamp down. Now these clamps don't reach the middle exactly, so it's going to be a bit lopsided. So I'm going to just see how I'm carefully checking there's no metal back there. we are very close. This takes a little time. There are different ways to do it. I think I like this way, but I haven't tried the other way I've seen yet, which is to make them in threes and get them all together. But I think you end up still having to do this process even if you make them together, because they will be always slightly different. So I'm looking down the line, which if you're a carpenter, I just learned this trick today, or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. How to see if wood is straight and flat. So these look pretty darn level, I would say. And the height, when I check with the caliper, is yeah. I can't overstress the importance of a completely flat piece of wood. And next time I do this, I would use hardwood that's really truly flat. So we are just a smidge big, but we can oops. So what I think I want to do, and I can also see if it's evenly, you can see how, so here it does actually fit. So what I'm going to do is just clamp this side a bit one more time. It should hopefully be enough to finish it. I'll go also in the middle here. I don't really want to clamp this side, so let's that's it. That one goes, that one goes, and they will just go, which is really helpful to get them accurate. So now it feels pretty accurately even, and it feels even along this side. So just to be sure now, I'll flip it round and check it's flat even this way, and now check this one. And it's almost, but I'm going to give this a final little, I mean we're talking about 0.5 millimeter kind of thing, but I'm going to be just accurate as I can, because I think consistency on these connections is really important, that they're all equally tight. Okay, so let's get this down. There she goes. And this is already now good. It seems to have fixed the whole thing. So, by Jove, I think we got it. I think we got it. And there's only one way to know if you got it. And this is the final voltage check. Okay, so in order to do this, I'm going to be super cautious. Now I'm not measuring anymore. I can put some of this foam, which is got a better grip, and it's for sure insulated. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on its side, which will make it easy for me to check these voltages. And now before I was checking the voltages on the batteries, now I'm going to check the voltages on these little metal prongs, and they should be the same as what the batteries were, and if any are low, it means it's not compressed properly. A lot of people have had troubles with this, and they've evolved these, this is Kit 2.1 or 2, Vruzend 2, and they're supposed to have improved that issue, but I think with clamping, well, let's see what the first one looks like. It's bloody terrible. Oh no, it doesn't. There we go. So why was it so slow to pick that up? That's fine. It might just be a glitch in the matrix. Okay, so you remember what they were before, don't you? They were about 3.49 or thereabouts. And that's what we want to see. It looks the same. You literally, actually it's easier on the side. You really do need to go through, oh dear, every cell, as you can see. You just never know. Who knows? Never done this before. And that's picking up sweet Fanny Adams. Oh dear. Let's keep going. I'll come back to that. I don't know what's going on there. For some reason, DC. Right. Come on, mate. This is supposed to be the easy part. Okay, so I've got every cell at a correct voltage now. The easiest way it looked like to achieve that was to basically, once I've done that clamping, was to put in these bolts. I've still got 2 more I could pop in somewhere. But those bolts let me easily tighten it up very accurately, and whenever I tighten it, it's not going to get loose again. So I have now gone through every cell here, and they're all making a connection. So I'm going to stop there for this, and I will pick up again next time. I will just say, probably compress this another millimeter just by screwing these in and getting it as accurate as I can, but it basically looks good. It feels not actually lighter than I would have thought for a 700 watt battery. It's really it's really quite light actually. So I hope you've enjoyed this first part. I will upload the next part, which will be how to wire these together, and this is a much more tricky part to understand, but I will explain it. So for now, thanks for watching. Bye.